Hey everybody, what's up? Chad Wesley Smith here. Philipe Della Professor Furao. And Philippe's training today and we're getting him started using the JuggernautBJJ app. So I just want to show you some about that questionnaire process, getting your initial program set up and help advise you along that. So I'll just kind of guide you through this as we go. Philippe, these questions, you know, male, check. Put your birthday in there. Oh yeah, we almost have the same birthday. Joint.
6, all right.
So confirm that. Joint birthday parties. And then we have a mix of kilos and pounds in here, so whichever you prefer, metric or standard.
Body weight, so do 178.
And then your height. So in the height
5,
and weight and
9.
age, that's all helping tell the system, does this person need more volume to progress? Are they able to recover from more volume? 69 inches, 5'9".
5'9", 69?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, hit next. Then your weight training experience, your 5+ years. Your experience is also gonna help tell the system, does this person need more, need less? Now this part, tournament prep, strength, speed, power, endurance, lifestyle. A lot of different program options here. Obviously, if you have a tournament date set that you're training for Pan Ams or Worlds or Dallas Open or whatever it is, then choose the tournament prep. Put that date in there. As long as you're within 16 weeks of that, it's going to set up a periodized plan, going through all the different phases that I talk about in the YouTube videos to get you peaking for that day in the tournament. The other programs, the strength, speed, power, endurance, those are all 6-week programs with this specific emphasis. In the strength program, there's still speed and power qualities present. In the speed and power program, there's still strength qualities present. In the endurance program, there's still strength qualities present, but it's what is the emphasis for you. So if you feel like there's something that you're lacking in your jiu-jitsu training, you're at school and you're like, oh man, guys are just overpowering me, then choose the strength program. If you're losing the scrambles and those explosive moments, or you feel slow shooting takedowns, choose the speed power program. If you're gassing out, choose the endurance program. And then finally the lifestyle program. The lifestyle program is kind of everything all together, a little bit of everything all the time. And that one is great for masters for sure, because it's going to be a little bit easier to recover from. But lifestyle program is really for, you don't feel like any of those specific areas are lacking, or you're just training in a well-balanced, well-rounded approach to improve your jiu-jitsu performance, to do better at your school because you don't have a specific tournament coming up, to feel better, to look better, all that good stuff. So for now, let's do a strength program. Then go down, hit next. All right, so you train, let's just put 2 days in. So Tuesday, Thursday, and then the start date is fine, that's today. So next. Yeah, because that's already today.
Oh, perfect.
And then how many BJJ sessions a week do you train?
So let's put 6.
All right, and that's another thing that's going to help tell the system how much you're likely to be able to recover from. And then finally, how many minutes are your BJJ matches? Like for, if you're a blue belt, 6-minute matches, masters, obviously it changes, all that stuff. So, I mean, you could put 5, you could put 10. So obviously, Philippe, black belt would be 10, but for masters, 5?
Yeah.
Because masters 2?
Master 2, yeah.
5 minutes too short for you. Too short for you. And those are other questions that are going to help tell the system and guide it, especially in the endurance program and the tournament prep program, as we're getting into different conditioning pieces. How long those matches are is obviously significant. All right, let's put in some maxes for you, Professor.
Yep.
So back squat max, 275 pounds.
270.
And then done. And then, so if you don't know your max, or you don't have a 1-rep max, this I know is a pretty common thing. We're gonna build something in pretty soon that creates like this ramp up program if you don't know your maxes, where you can take 4 weeks and test at the end of that and then start the program. But I know Philippe's maxes, so we can put those in. But let's say that Philippe didn't know his 1-rep max, and the best he'd done recently was 225 pounds for 5 reps. Then it would give an estimated max, and we can use that. So bench max. So recently, a couple weeks ago, Philippe benched 102.5 for 7, so that's 225.
5.
And then on the reps, change the reps to 7. You just hit the plus, yeah.
Nice.
And then done there. We gotta get your squat up. You're benching the same as your squat.
Nice.
Deadlift max, and it says deadlift, but if you prefer to do trap bar deadlift, which I prefer for most of my jiu-jitsu guys, feel free to put your trap bar deadlift max in. Conventional sumo, it doesn't really matter, just whatever deadlift is your preference. Deadlift for you, let's put 395 pounds.
395 for one.
Yeah.
Barbell row.
315. Obviously, if you have established 1 rep maxes, go ahead and click done. Those are going to be the most accurate. And then chin up max, let's put 100 pounds for 3 reps. All right, and now get my program. So it's going to take that, it's going to calculate all of the numbers for Professor Philipe. All right, so now that we have Professor Philipe's program set up, here we are at his dashboard. We're going to click Start Training, and it's going to show you the warm-up. So let's go ahead and take you through this warm-up, Professor. So first up, you got Reverse Snow Angel. If you're wondering about how to do any of the exercises, you just click Info, and there's, hey, it's you.
Nice.
And there's a video there that will show you how to perform the exercise.
Very nice.
So let's start Reverse Snow Angel. And we even have, shout out to our boy, Homelu Bahau, Everyday Pohada, coffee mug, coffee then Pohada. Then go to shin box.
Box.
And then do a bird dog. 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. Let's go each of those one more time. So obviously the warm-ups that we put there in the program, you know, they're great to do. That's why we put them there. But depending on your time, your schedule, you know, if you're lifting like right after jiu-jitsu, it's probably not really necessary for you to do this warm-up because you're already warm. But you can, you know, always feel free to do the suggested warm-up. Maybe you just do 3 or 4 or 5, or 3 or 4 of the 5 exercises. But if you're lifting before you train jiu-jitsu, which that's, I think, typically tends to be the better thing if your schedule allows for it, as the lifting isn't going to negatively affect your jiu-jitsu as much as doing jiu-jitsu first is probably going to really limit how well you can lift that day. But if you're lifting first, then definitely, you know, do a couple of these warm-up movements that we suggest. I got that Everyday Pohada shout out for Homino there, so you're going to be like, oh, Chad's so nice. Next time I see him, I'm not going to smash him for the 10 years that he's been reminding me that he scored points on me. All right, so now Professor Philipe is through the warm-up. After you get that warm-up, you get your readiness check-in. The readiness check-in is one of the most important parts of the JuggernautBJJ app and the Juggernaut AI app, because this is how you tell the system how you're feeling that day. And if you don't tell it how you're feeling and do that accurately, it can't adapt your training to you both for that day and over time. So, you know, Philipe, go ahead and check these in. So everything on the scale of 1 to 5. 5 is great, slept great. Professor Philipe is always extremely on top of his recovery metrics. This one, the diet one, you actually probably want to put a 3 because the 5 is like if you were eating to gain weight.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So that's why it says in a caloric surplus.
Ah, I see. Let's try all 5 today.
Okay. All 5s and 1 3. As a general rule of thumb, if you weren't Philipe and I didn't know that, you know, you had saunaed last night and then ice bath before bed to wake up to a breakfast of the finest acai, you know, I might suggest you are judicious in your use of the 5s, because if you're telling the system, and I feel great, in the same way that if Philipe comes in here and says, hey, Coach Chad, I feel great today, let's really push hard. All right, then we're going to push harder. The system is going to have you push harder. You know, so be smart when you're telling it you feel great, because you tell it you feel great, and if you don't actually feel great, you're going to start to run into some problems there. All right, so now we've got the program for the day. Here's a kind of a quick overview. Obviously, you're going to see Philipe go through it. Let's get to work, Professor.
Sounds good. Thank you, Coach.
All right, so we're starting off box push-ups, hardest part of the workout. Just two. So on these first exercises of the day, pretty much throughout the strength program, you're gonna get these explosive exercises. Explosive push-ups, jumps, medicine ball throws. Those are done for quality. So we're really looking at alactic power there, which is like as great a single or short time output that you can have. So with an exercise like these box push-ups, the reps are low, 5 sets, only 2 reps. So we want great quality. Most jiu-jitsu guys are gonna be so fit that you don't need to take particularly long rest in between, but you want to take it long enough so that the quality stays high for all the sets. Five sets done?
Yeah.
All right, so for those explosive exercises, even though it's giving you 5 sets, it's only asking for average there, because you might go up throughout the sets, you might go up, back down. It's not a huge thing, so just the average is fine. So these are 10-inch boxes. All right, now we're going to chin-ups, so go ahead and do a body weight set to warm up. Five or 6. Still warming up. Let's go to 60. Then let's go to 70. So like I normally be having you do five sets. I think it's giving you 4 sets, because I could give 3, 4, or 5. So it's probably giving you 4 as a combination because you're pretty strong and experienced lifting. And since you're masters 2, it's giving you a little bit less. But over time, if you keep saying keep telling it, oh, I feel really good, the workout wasn't that hard, then it's gonna bump up to giving you 5. So it'll look at that, and then if you fail something too, at the end of the session, it's gonna ask you how hard was today. You'd wanna rate it as a little bit harder, because you weren't able to do all of the stuff quite. So then once you do a set, you just click performance, and then you put in, that was 70 pounds, 5 reps. We'll call that maybe 8 RPE. So the rate of perceived exertion, RPE, is going to be a really important thing for you to understand as you use the program in the app. This is a scale up to 10, 10 being as hard as you could have possibly done. You could not have done any more weight for any more reps. 9.5 is that amount of reps. Maybe you could have done 5 pounds more. RPE 9 means you could have done that weight for 1 more rep than you did. So that's a really, really important aspect of the program for the system to help understand how you're doing and for you to understand how you're progressing yourself. And let's add 2.5 kilo on there. Now the real question is, are we gonna do Creed boxing after training today? Hey.
We need to do that Juggernaut tournament and virtual boxing.
All right, so this set, last set, AMRAP, that's as many reps as possible. So we go in for our RPE 10 here. 2, 4. All right, so we're putting in 4 reps, RPE 10. So next exercise here for Professor Philipe is going to be the belt squat. So obviously belt squat, it's kind of hard to predict a squat max there from the regular squat, but because I've seen Professor do this exercise a lot of times before, we just click the info button, and we can enter a 1 rep max there, which I'd say on this exercise for him is probably about 400 pounds, because I've seen him do like 170 for 10. So obviously belt squat's a pretty unique piece of equipment, so if you don't have access to a belt squat, you just click the arrows here, and then you can choose any other exercise you want anything from this list, the recommended exercise list, is a fine substitute. So, if we wanted to select front squat, let's say, just select, then you'd click for the rest of the program. The swap exercise for just today, we'd only suggest that if you're choosing a different exercise as an injury workaround for the day, or if you're at a different gym and that gym doesn't have the equipment that you would normally have at home, then it's fine to switch just for the day. But otherwise, typically you want to select for the rest of the program. And 5 again. And then take the yellow off and put a red on. With Professor Philipe being on the 2-day-a-week strength program, the way that kind of gets set up is that today his primary exercise was the upper body pull, the chin-ups. That's why we're having the AMRAP set there. And then his second exercise for the day is like an accessory squat. So it's going to be submaximal movement. So even this last set, 5 reps, should end up being probably like a RPE 7 kind of feel for him. And then where the other main workout this week, his main exercise was trap bar deadlift, and that had the AMRAP. That'll have the AMRAP in it as the primary exercise. And his secondary exercise was the push press. And again, that's going to be a submaximal movement. And as he goes to next week, he'll have, primary exercise being a pressing exercise one of the days, like bench press, and a primary squat movement on the other day. So it gives you, it's on a 2-day-a-week program, 1 primary exercise, 1 secondary exercise of our big 4 movement categories of press, hinge, upper body pull, and squat. And if you want to learn more about that, check out the exercise selection for BJJ video here on the channel. When are we making our special instructional how to defeat big guys at jiu-jitsu? Where I get to be the dummy who gets beat up the whole time. So now we're coming to the first of these combo sets. So you see you have A, B, and C exercises. So in this situation, we're going to do 1 set of inverted skull crushers, then a set of back raises, then a set of iron neck rotations, and then back to the start. And as you're reading, the A corresponds with A. So inverted skull crushers, we're doing for 2 to 3 reps in reserve. All right. So going until you feel like you could only do 2 or 3 more reps. Back raises, we want to have a 8 to 10 rep per set target, but feeling like you could do 2 or 3 more reps. So based on how much weight you hold, and the same thing for the iron neck, though that's not going to apply so much for the neck exercises. So the inverted skull crusher, you remember how to do these?
Which one is that though?
Put you a video. Oh, a pipoca demonstration.
Okay.
So it's hands on the box, kind of like a push-up position, but elbows are tucked more at your side, and you're lowering your head down to your hands.
Hands together.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
2 to 3 reps in reserve.
Okay.
Pipoca gonna be so happy. He's gonna be the model in this one.
He's the model on the easiest exercise. Body weight. He's the model on the body weight.
Elbows tuck in at your side, and your head goes, yeah. And the more your elbows are at your side, the harder it'll be. I really like this exercise for jiu-jitsu guys too, because this is so similar to how a lot of the frames are going to be made. That same kind of position.
Very good.
Now we go into back raise. And then next exercise, Professor Philipe special, iron neck. Say iron neck, pretty unique piece of equipment. Again, like the belt squat. If you need to switch it, you just click the arrows and then choose anything else from the recommended exercise list. But iron neck is, I think, definitely worth getting if you're doing jiu-jitsu. Iron neck opinions?
Very good device.
Yeah. Professor Philipe's main choke defense. He just engages his iron neck power, and then it's impossible to finish him.
How many goes?
Let's go 15 each side. this inverted skull crusher, 2 to 3 reps in reserve. I mean, Pipoca, the official inverted skull crusher demonstrator, I think does like 20 reps. So I'm just saying.
I want to see his video.
Scoot your feet back a little bit more.
I want to prove.
Professor, would I lie to you about this?
As you protect the pocket.
I only protect Pipoca when all of you, or forehead, yeah. I only protect Pipoca when he's getting ganged up on by 5 Brazilians at once, because he needs the help. If it's just me and Pipoca, then I make fun of Pipoca as much. Or just Pipoca and Otavio in the mornings, then Pipoca, of course, is going to get made fun of. I just can't let you and Marco and
him, huh?
yeah. When we have the Pipoca versus Furao Juggernaut challenge, I'll just put you guys at opposite ends of the same box, facing each other, and you have to do the rep at the same time. 1, 2, and see
That's a good one.
for a true head-to-head battle. And then we finish with Oculus boxing. So when you have a body weight exercise like the inverted skull crushers, you can just go ahead and click the body weight button there and then say how many reps you did. You said you did 25 reps?
Yes.
Poor Pipoca. Poor Pipoca. So now Philippe's gonna do a little ab circuit where it's rounds for time. So here, because he's in week 1 of the program, it's gonna be 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So do 30 seconds of ab wheel, 30 seconds rest, 30 seconds of plate twist, 30 seconds rest, 30 seconds of hanging leg raises, 30 seconds rest. So whenever you're ready, we're gonna hit the start.
Ab wheel rollout.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna put this heart rate monitor on to see the real stats on the Oculus boxing. Because I'm like legit dripping sweat onto the floor. That does that the last 5 seconds. I like this touch of it saying the exercise name too.
Very nice.
And I didn't even have to do voiceover for all those.
Yeah, what I was gonna say.
In the powerlifting app, the timer has my voice in it. I say like 30 seconds left. Start your next set now. These are going to be the best hanging leg raises Professor ever done because they're for the video.
Like straight leg.
Dr. Mike loves taking these videos of himself vomiting. let me just put this phone down and record myself vomiting in this trash can. All right, so now training session's all wrapped up. Just click finish workout. Then we're gonna rate how hard today felt. What would you say?
Average, yeah.
Average, good,
Yeah.
7. Moderate, hard. Because this is the first week of the training, our goal would be for it to feel, easy to average. So let's call it average. The chin-ups look pretty tough, and you're still recovering from your little bicep surgery there. Click done. That end of session check-in along with the readiness rating before your training, those, and then your jiu-jitsu check-ins. So after you train jiu-jitsu tonight, Professor, you can click check-in, and you put a BJJ session, say how long your training was, how many live rounds you did, how difficult that session was, and then if you already trained strength training, you put yes. But the more information you can give it through the readiness check-in before your training, the end of session check-in, the BJJ session check-ins, and then you have an end of the week session, end of the week check-in and end of block check-in. All of those things are going to help inform the Juggernaut BJJ system about yourself, about how you're responding to the training, as well as your intra-session performance when you're putting in your weights, rating your RPE, all that stuff, so it can learn about you, so it can adapt the training to be the right fit for you, for the right fit for whoever else is using it out there. You know, whether you're a 4-stripe black belt, train all day, every day, like Professor Philipe, whether you're a 20-year-old white belt, a 50-year-old white belt, anything in between, anyone in between, it's going to adapt and make the smartest program for you. So, Professor,
Thanks so much, Coach.
always a pleasure, brother. Hopefully this taught you some about how the Juggernaut BJJ app works, how it can work for you. So you can visit JuggernautBJJ.app. You can use code Philipe, Philipe, probably the most popular code already. And then you can save some money with that. You can try it for 1 week free. Link down in the description, link up in the corner, all those places. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll be posting more stuff with Philipe and all our other jiu-jitsu guys training here and giving you more information about how to do strength and conditioning for jiu-jitsu, how to use the app effectively. Thanks for watching.